And welcome. I'm John Milandred, and welcome to the Pioneer Man, as we call it. On the last video, it was about chicken puffs. And on this one, like I promised, I'm going to take and do what's called sweet bread. This is the most sweetest, delicious bread that anyone has probably ever tried. It's if you're familiar with King Hawaiian rolls, far better. And it's extremely simple. It doesn't take long, it doesn't take much out of your time, but they are addictive. So once you make this, and trust me, once you make it, your family is always going to bug you that they want more. Very simple recipe. The first thing you do is approximately 3 cups of flour. I like to use white enriched flour. I don't like bleached flour. For those of you in other countries, you can do wheat. We're Americans. We always go for white. Then I want to take and have you do like 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Then I want you to take and do 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And just go ahead and mix that in. Then I want you to take approximately 1 cup of milk. And yes, with my bread, I use milk. Most bread recipes call for water. I do not believe necessarily in water. And I want you to take and start that on the stove. Put it on medium-high. And I want you to boil that. And I mean boil it, and it'll start to foam and rise up. Go ahead and lift it, set it back down, rise up, turn it off. So when I mean scalding, I really mean scalding. While that's waiting, I want you to take just a pinch, maybe 2 pinch. Go ahead and put it in a cup. And then just go ahead and fill it with 1/4 of a cup of hot water. Fill it up with the hot water, a couple pinches, and I want you to take and do approximately you can even do 1.5 tablespoons of rapid yeast. Mix it up. I know what they say. You should. I don't care. Go ahead and mix that up. Let it sit back. And let it sit back and do its job. In the meantime, I want you to concentrate more on the milk. Get it scalding. Mix it, of course. You want to stir it. And we'll be right back for this process. And like I said, you want it scalding. So let it keep going. Let it keep going. And there it goes. Woohoo! Oh, boss. Bring it up. Stir it back down. We're just going to do it one more time, just be safe. Then take about 1.5 teaspoons of butter. And add that to your scalding milk. And just go ahead and let it melt on in. And just dump it into your flour, your salt, your sugar. And mix it. This really takes and warms it up. And that's what you want for your yeast. You want that warmth. But you don't want it so hot that it actually kills the yeast. Now, by this time, in that very short time, look how frothy the yeast has got. So just Lightly mix. Dump it in. Now it has all the nutrients. It has the warmth, the moisture. It's going to rise. It's going to breed. It's going to be beautiful. A lot of people will let this just sit. But over the years, I've learned, I want you to take just a paper towel and put over it. But you want to retain the moisture. So just lightly sprinkling, get that wet. And then sometimes I'll wet the sides just to act, to kind of hold it together. Because I don't want that paper sinking into the batter. You're going to let this sit for approximately 1 hour. It should double in size and really be nice and big, basically. It depends on the temperature. Sometimes you might have to wait an hour and a half. If you're talking about winter time when it's cold, it's only in the 60s in your house, you might have to go 2 hours. Right now in southeast Oklahoma, it's about 82 degrees inside. That's perfect temperature because it should only take about 45 minutes to an hour. So we'll come back in an hour and show you the rest. And welcome back. What I want you to do is grease your pans. Yeah, I'm not using cast iron or, some Pioneer type thing. I'm making it easy on you. Go down, buy these, they're cheap. I want you to add some flour. Just kind of spread it around. Get your hands nice and floury. I want you to just turn it. And what you're doing is trying to get the stickiness out. You're just trying to dry the tops. It doesn't usually take much. Add what you feel is necessary until you stop sticking to it. See, when it starts to fall apart slightly, that's dry enough. You don't want it too dry. You just want it so it stops sticking to your hands, basically. Then I want you to take and just squeeze it together, take equal amounts, and just pat it down into the pan. And do the same thing. You're just trying to keep the moisture in. And so just lightly wet the top. Let that sit about another hour until it starts to rise about halfway, if not almost all the way up on these pans. So you're doubling in size is what you're doing. And we'll be right back. Now it's been approximately an hour. What I want you to do is I just want the egg white, not the egg yolk, just the egg white. And then what I want you to do is just take a little bit of sugar, just a pinch, put it in. I want you to whip it. Just kind of fluff it up a little bit. And then I want you to baste your bread. Just baste it with a little bit of egg white. Once it's sat, let it go ahead and sit about 10 more minutes and just absorb that egg white to it. Go ahead and set your temperature to 325 degrees. Put on bake. And then add it in. And what you want to do is bake it for about 35 minutes or until nice and golden brown. So we'll be right back once again and show you how it turns out. After about 30 minutes, the bread, to me, is done. See how golden brown it is on the top? You know, each oven is different. I will say 25 to 45 minutes. Because you never know what the oven is going to do. So at this point, I want you to take just a little bit of butter. And just baste the top slightly. Okay, just moisten it. See how that rose so beautifully? See how it's golden brown on the top? I perfected this bread for probably 20 years. It's one of the first times I've actually shown it. And hence, that's why they always say, with love. Because, literally, you put love into it. You put everything you have into it. You want it to be the most sweetest, most delicious that anybody has ever tasted. Swap it out. Very simple. Beautiful. And there you have it, sweet bread. Once you try it, you'll never want anything else. This concludes the video for sweet bread. Just for you out there, we're also going to have American red potatoes that have been fried. They have a little bit of tarragon onion, a little bit of peppers, basil, a little bit of garlic. We're also having pan-fried steak. We're having over-easy eggs. We're even going to have a little bit of toast with it. But that's for another video. Bottom line is, that's our supper. Sorry, I'm not sharing it with you yet. The main thing was sweet bread. And that's what I promised you. And after you let it sit, just for a few minutes, just go ahead and butter it. And bon appetit. There was nothing better in the world. I'll see you on the next video. Remember our sponsors, survivalwarehouse.com and sunoven.com, and let them know when you order that Pioneer John Milandred sent you. I'll see you on the next video.